Hi. Today we are going to see about the unit 2 pulse modulation. So in pulse modulation, now in this slides we are going to see about the low pass sampling theorem and also their quantization, Nyquist rate, Nyquist interval and its effects. Sampling theorem. A low pass or low pass signal contains the frequencies from 1 Hz to some higher value. The statement is a band limited signal of finite energy which has no frequency components higher than W Hz is completely described by specifying the values of signal at instant of time separated by half W seconds. And also the another thing is a band limited signal of finite energy which has no frequency components higher than W Hz may be completely recovered from the knowledge of its samples taken at the rate of 2 W samples per second. That is, Fs is greater than or equal to 2 W. Here Fs means sampling frequency and W is the higher frequency content. Next, proof of sampling theorem. There are two parts of sampling theorem. They are representation of x of t in terms of its samples, and the next one is reconstruction of x of t from its samples. So first we are going to see about the first part, that is representation of x of t in terms of its samples. In this part there is 4 steps we have to follow. First step, define x del of t, and the second step is Fourier transform of x del of t, that is x del of f, and the third step is relation between x of f and x del of f. Last step is relation between x of t and x of nt. Yes. Step 1. First we are going to define the x del of t. That is, we all know that the sample signal x del of t is given as x del of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of t del of t minus nts. Here we can observe that the x del of t is the product of x del and the impulse strain del of t. So in the above equation we have to use, that is del of t minus nts indicates the samples placed at plus or minus ts, plus or minus 2 ts, plus or minus 3 ts and so on. Okay. The next step is 2. It is Fourier transform of x del of t, that is x del of f. Taking ft or Fourier transform of equation, we will get x del of f is equal to ft of the summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of t into del of t minus nts. So the Fourier transform is product of x of t and impulse strain. So we all know that the Fourier transform of the product in time domain will becomes the convolution in the frequency domain. So this will x del of f is equal to Fourier transform of x of t into Fourier transform of del of t minus nts. So by the definition we are going to transform the Fourier transform in x of t into x del of f. Also del of t minus nts into fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity del of f minus nfs. So the above equation will becomes x del of f is equal to x of f into fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity del of f minus nfs. So the convolution is linear. So x del of f is equal to fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of f into del of f minus nfs. So by shifting property, the impulse function will become fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of f minus nfs. So that is fs x of f minus 2fs plus fs x of f minus fs plus fs x of f plus fs x of f minus fs plus fs x of f minus 2fs, etc. Next we are going to see step 3. We have to relate between the x of f and x del of f. So here the important assumption of the x del of f is, let us assume fs is equal to 2w bandwidth. So then from the diagram we can mention that is x del of f is equal to fs x of f, or x of f is equal to 1 by fs x del of f. Here we are taking the limit as minus w to plus w, and fs is equal to 2w. Okay. So next is step 4. Here the step 4 is relation between the x of t and x of nts. So now we are going to take about the dtft process. So that is x of omega is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity and x of n into e power minus j omega n. So that is x of f is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j 2 pi fn. So in the above equation, f is the frequency of discrete time signal. So here we are replacing x of f by x del of f, and f becomes frequency of continuous time signal. That is x del of f is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j 2 pi f by fs n. Okay. So in the above equation, f is the frequency of continuous time signal. So f by fs is equal to frequency of discrete time signal in the equation. So here x of n is equal to x of nts, that is the samples of x of t. Then we have x del of f is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of nts e power minus j 2 pi fn ts, since 1 by fs is equal to ts. So putting the above expression in this equation, we will get x of f is equal to 1 by fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of nts e power minus j 2 pi fn ts. So taking the inverse Fourier transform of the above equation x of t, then we will get x of t is equal to inverse Fourier transform of 1 by fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of nts e power minus j 2 pi fn ts. Okay, this is the part 1 constructions. So next we are going to see about the part 2 reconstruction of x of t from its samples. Here we having two steps. The step 1 is taking the inverse Fourier transform of x of f, which is in terms of x del of f, and the step 2 is we have to show that x of t is obtained back with the help of the interpolation function. Step 1. So taking the inverse Fourier transform of the equation. So it will becomes x of t is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity 1 by fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of nts e power minus j 2 pi fnts into e power j 2 pi ft into df. Okay. Here the integrations can be taken from minus w to plus w as the frequency limit. So x of f is equal to 1 by fs into x del of f for minus w to less than or equal to plus w. Okay. So x of t is equal to integral minus w to plus w, that is 1 by fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of nts into e power minus j 2 pi fnts, that is e power j 2 pi ft into df. So interchanging the order of summation and integration, we will receive the equation as finalized as x of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of nts 1 by fs summation minus w to plus w e power j 2 pi t into f of t minus nts into df. So that will become summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of nts into 1 by fs, that is e power j 2 pi f into t minus nts divided by j 2 pi into t minus nts. The limit will be minus w2 plus w. So substituting inside this equation means we will get summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of nts into 1 by fs e power j 2 pi w into t minus nts minus e power minus j 2 pi w into t minus nts divided by j 2 pi into t minus nts. That is summation is equal pi n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of nts into 1 by fs sine 2 pi w into t minus nts divided by pi t minus nts. So that is summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of nts sine pi into 2wt minus 2w nts divided by pi into fst minus fs nts. So here fs is equal to 2w, hence ts is equal to 1 by fs, that is equal to 1 by 2w. Simplifying the above equation, we will receive x of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of nts into sine pi into 2wt minus n divided by pi into 2wt minus n. Okay, that is summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of nts into sinc 2wt minus n. Since we all know that sin pi theta by pi theta, we will denote it as sinc theta. Okay. So next is step 2. Let us interpret the above equation and expand it. We will get x of t is equal to x of 2ts sinc 2wt plus 2 plus x of minus ts sinc 2wt plus 1 plus x of 0 into sinc 2wt plus x of ts sinc into 2wt minus 1 plus etc. So next is the step 3. So step 3, here we have to reconstruct the x of t by the low pass filter. So when the interpolated signal of equation is passed through low pass filter of bandwidth, that is minus w2 plus w, then the reconstructed waveform will be obtained as like this waveform. Okay. So next one is aliasing. So what do you mean by aliasing? Aliasing means when the high frequency interferes with the low frequency and appears as the low frequency, then that phenomenon will be known as the aliasing. So here there are two effects of aliasing. One is if I have a high and low frequencies interfere with each other, then there will be the distortions will generated. Okay. The next one, the data will be lost when it will be cannot be recovered from the early equations. Okay. There are two ways to avoid the aliasing. What are the methods means? First we have to use the sampling rate, that is fs is greater than or equal to 2w. Then we have to use strictly band limit the signal to w. Okay. So first sampling rate fs is greater than or equal to 2w. It means when the sampling is rate is made higher than 2w, then the spectrum will not overlap and it will be having the sufficient gap between the individual spectrums. So this gap will be avoid the aliasing process. Okay. So the second one is band limiting the signal. It means we have to use the anti-aliasing filter in between the sampling process. So here the sampling rate will be fs is equal to 2w. So ideally speaking there should be no aliasing. So there can be a few components which is higher than 2w. So these components will create the aliasing process. So hence the low pass filter is used for before the sampling the signals, and the output of the low pass filter is strictly band limited and it will have no frequency components higher than the w. So then there will be no aliasing will occur. So next we are going to see about the Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. So Nyquist rate, it means when the sampling rate will becomes exactly equal to 2W samples per second for a given bandwidth of W hertz, then it is called as the Nyquist rate. So Nyquist rate will be denoted as 2W hertz. Okay, next, Nyquist interval. It means it is the time interval between any two adjacent samples when sampling the rate is Nyquist rate. Okay, so Nyquist interval is equal to 1 by 2W seconds. Next, we are going to see about the quantization. Quantization, it means the step preferred for after the sampling. So here the sampled signals will fix the valuable quantization level. So here we have used the x of t as a continuous time waveform, and it will be faint in the process. So the dots on the waveform will indicate sampling instant. So here we have to note that the sampling instants are exactly 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 and 4.5 and so on. Okay, so these values of x of t will varies from 0 to 7 volts, and it can take the value between 0 to 7 volts. There are infinite amplitude levels between the values. So for the purpose of digitization, the limited amplitude levels are available. So these levels are 0 volt, 1 volt, 2 volt, etc. up to 6 volt and 7 volt. Okay, so these are only for the 8 amplitude levels. So these codes can be encoded by 3 bits. That is for 0 value we have to given the 000, and for 1 001, 2 010, and for etc. like that 6 we have to use 110, and for 7 we have to use 111. So these all the levels are known as the quantization levels. Okay, at the time of the quantization, the sampled amplitude will be nearest to the quantization level. So they are minus 0.5 is less than or equal to x of nts, and this will be less than or equal to 0.5. That is xq of nts is equal to 0. So next one is 0.5 less than or equal to x of nts less than or equal to 1.5. Then xq of nts is equal to 1. Okay. The last one is 1.5 less than or equal to x of nts less than or equal to 2.5. We will get xq of nts is equal to 2 and so on. So the difference between the two amplitude level is called as the quantization error. That is denoted as epsilon, and it will be denoted and will be noted as xq of nts minus x of nts. That is epsilon max is equal to modulus of del by 2. So this is the maximum quantization error processing. Thank you.